Good evening, dear friends, and welcome to day 190 for a poem a day of 2026. It's Thursday. It's still very warm. I think I managed maybe 2 hours of sleep from about 4 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I was in a cool shower at like 2:30 a.m. Yeah. Let's see what poetry we've got. I hope you've been managing more rest than I have, and I hope Thursday has treated you kindly. Okay, so 9th of July we have Travel by Edna St Vincent Millay, and our blurb reads as follows. Edna St Vincent Millay was a celebrated American poet and feminist activist living in the first half of the 20th century. This short lyric, arranged into 3 rhyming quatrains, expresses the writer's wanderlust, the desire to travel far and wide. So this is Travel by Edna St Vincent Millay. The railroad track is miles away, and the day is loud with voices speaking. Yet there isn't a train goes by all day, but I hear its whistle shrieking. All night there isn't a train goes by, though the night is still for sleep and dreaming. But I see its cinders red on the sky, and I hear its engine streaming. My heart is warm with the friends I make, and better friends I'll not be knowing. Yet there isn't a train I wouldn't take, no matter where it's going. Very sorry for that massive yawn. While I have been very lucky to travel quite a lot on my roller derby adventures, I have only experienced what I think was the feeling of wanderlust once. 2016, I travelled to Calgary, Alberta, in Canada, for the third men's roller derby World Cup, second men's roller derby World Cup. And my travel was somewhat convoluted. On the way there, I flew from, I believe, Heathrow to St John's in Newfoundland, and I had a 22-hour layover, which I spent the whole of in the airport. For some of the afternoon, I went and sat outside. It was July. It was the weather was beautiful, and I think I snoozed in the sun. But yeah, by and large, I hung out and I ate and I slept in the airport. I found a bench overlooking the arrivals of the planes, and it was kind of cool. On the way home, I flew back via Vancouver, and I had a 5 to 8 hour layover. And when I went through into the departures lounge, had the most phenomenal view of a mountain range in Vancouver, and it was like it was like something out of a movie. Um, and I'm not a mountaineer. I'm not a hiker. Um, I don't mind the occasional stroll. Um, Something I'd like to do more of is, as odd as it's probably going to sound, is kind of um, walking through old graveyards. I find those to be very peaceful, and yeah, yeah. I'm also a spooky widow, not in a disrespectful way, but I just yeah. But yeah, like I have no aspirations to go mountaineering, but sat there in the airport with this quite frankly panoramic, stunning view. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see everything there was to see, experience all sorts of possible things. And when we departed in the plane, um, I can't remember if I had a window seat or not, but I think I might have done actually. Very lucky to get window seat there and back, I think. Um, and I remember sort of looking out, and I spent a lot of the trip just observing. Um, no, I spent a lot of the trip there observing. The trip home, I absolutely didn't have a window seat. I just remembered that I had an aisle seat, but it was a middle aisle seat. It was quite a large plane, and there was a middle row of seats, and I had an aisle seat on the left hand side, and it was a bit rubbish. Um, I had hand luggage, and um, I felt very cramped where I was, and it was a long trek getting home. But yeah, that that image of that mountainscape is practically tattooed on my eyelids. Just stunning. It really was like something out of a movie. It just and on the few occasions that I've travelled since then, I've been to Barcelona and um, Toulouse. No, sorry, Orléans. Um, both beautiful places. Some lovely experiences. Leaving Orléans and seeing the Eiffel Tower in the distance as were coming into Paris and going past Paris. That was. I don't have a great deal of interest in visiting Paris, but it stirred something. Yeah, I think there might be something in me that holds back on possibly those feelings of wanderlust because I don't have a lot of money, and I wonder if there's something kind of reigning in those feelings because it feels unobtainable, or it's assumed it's unattainable. So, but yeah, if you have that burning urge of wanderlust within you, I would love for you to share that in the comments. Um, it's uh, it's a pretty special experience, considering I flew many thousands of miles across the world to essentially sit in a sports hall for 4 days, and then on the way home I saw that and just yeah. Well, I'm gonna go and dunk myself in a cool bath again. Um, the heat has me swelling like a sausage in a pan, and it's all rather uncomfortable. So that's my plan for the evening. It doesn't look like I've managed to secure a lift to roll derby training, which, given how tired I am, is probably just as well. Blessing in disguise. So here's hoping that rest comes just at all, not even more swiftly, just full stop this evening. And when we get down to it, we all have a very good night.